Taylor.
Trevor,
Taylor.
can you believe that we have a YouTube channel?
We have a what?
We have a YouTube channel.
Are you sure?
I don't know.
Yeah, me either. What is going on here?
We're going to be talking about movies and TV and video games, and like people are going to watch it.
I mean, that sounds pretty dope.
It sounds
Let's
dope.
give it a go.
It sounds dope. I like it. So, welcome to Critical Commentary. I am Taylor.
And I am Trevor. We're going to be exploring all types of content. I mean, come on, guys. We've got all sorts of streaming series coming out, and we're going to deep dive into all of these. Really give you that in-depth look on what we love, what we hate,
and everything in between.
What about these stand out? Because we all know with streaming series, they get boring.
Yes.
You know, it gets hard to really get into it and binge it sometimes.
Yes.
But we're going to figure out which one of those are worth your time.
Exactly. So make sure to subscribe, like, click that notification bell, because apparently that's a part of the YouTube algorithm now. And don't miss a beat of any of our new videos. Okay, so Trevor, what have you been watching? I know it's Halloween on the day of recording, but what have you been watching that may be related to spooky season, but not particularly related to spooky season?
Well, you know, it's been a weird year for all of us, but I think, you know, there have been some great shows and movies that have popped out from the woodwork this spooky season. First of all, you know, everybody loves a solid Adam Sandler movie. You know, even if you hate his style of comedy, you still get it. You know, it's wholesome family fun, whatever. Hubie Halloween wasn't bad. Let's talk Hellstrom. You know, Hulu, they're hit or miss, you know? You never know when they're going to come out with a solid series or movie. But hey, sometimes with originals, they get it right. We'll see. And finally, let's talk Lovecraft Country. I mean, really, what a show. I mean, could you ask for more out of it? More from a socially relevant point of view, more from everything you need out of plot, cinematography. I mean, come on. What do you think, Taylor?
I mean, to be honest with you, I love the fact that it's both timeless and timely. Like, it's so weird that we're just now seeing people of color being at the forefront of both sci-fi and even horror. And to be honest with you, like, I'm a huge nerd, and it's just insane that it took us to get to 2020 to start seeing that kind of content. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't make sense.
I feel all these streaming services, all these production companies spent so much effort ignoring what could be such great content.
Right? So, okay. So let's get into just the three that we've brought up so far. So Hubie Halloween. What did you like about it? What did you not like about it? What did you feel overall about it?
I mean, first of all, I think it goes without saying, any Adam Sandler movie that does not reach the levels of The Cobbler is doing all right. I mean, that is... he set the standard bad there, but hey, we're talking wholesome Halloween family fun. And, you know...
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it's been a minute since... Okay, like, we're millennials, The last time I remember seeing good, wholesome Halloween content was like Hocus Pocus, right?
Right? We
So like
rewatch it every year. It was so good. It defined our childhood, but
we need something for like our adult life now. Like I can't keep rewatching the
not to
same
mention,
3 movies.
each next generation needs something of that caliber. I mean,
Yeah. I agree.
it's just so important.
Yeah. The thing that I really liked about Hubie Halloween was mostly, first of all, the Billy Madison like change was really cool, how they made it like Dracula themed. I was very like immediately when I saw that I was like, got it.
Absolutely.
But also the cast. Like I feel like Netflix spent money on that cast alone. You got like Ray Liotta, Steve Buscemi, Maya Rudolph. Like you're getting so many of like both just good like serious actors that also have that humor side, but you're also getting like SNL like legends.
You're getting the full swath of Adam Sandler's Black Book. Like,
Yes. It felt like he called all his friends and was like, can we make a movie?
The Netflix accountant division had a time and a half dealing with this budget. Like, he has been setting records for a while in the amount of money Netflix is willing to spend for content. But hey, he puts out consistently.
Oh, yeah. And, like, I know that now Netflix is pretty much the home of where he's just going to be putting out content. I know, like, Murder Mystery came out, but it's interesting that he kind of, like, returned to his origins almost after doing things like Uncut Gems, Like, Uncut Gems was such an underrated film, and now that he's, like...
And, of course...
back kind of into his, like... older movie days. I think that's kind of interesting.
Back to his basics, his bread and butter, really.
Yeah.
I mean...
Yeah, I liked that.
I will always appreciate the Uncut Gem memes of, well, he did Hubie Halloween to piss off all the people that didn't support Uncut Gems, but at the same time...
And I'm not gonna lie, like, it took me... I had to watch that movie more than once to actually get it. Like the first time around when I saw Uncut Gems, I was a little like, where is this movie going? And then it wasn't until I watched it again that I realized that this was technically a masterpiece. He's so, I don't know, like Adam Sandler's humor is so specific.
Absolutely. And
so
and a lot of that absolutely is the writing involved in that movie. I mean, there is such skill applied there, but he absolutely does take it into a world of his own and just transports you.
Yeah, exactly. So in regards to plot and like just the overall focus of the movie, I mean, what did you feel like? Were you laughing? Because I found myself definitely laughing at just some of the hilariosity of that movie.
I'll say it, I have no problem giggling my way through an Adam Sandler movie, and this is no exception. It's classic plot, you expect it, but at the same time you love it, and that's what's important.
Yeah. Yeah, it was definitely like, you could tell that Adam Sandler wasn't trying to confuse us. He wasn't trying to like dupe anybody with this overcomplicated plot. It was really straightforward, but I think that's what made it so good, was because I knew what I was getting myself into, and I was able to just kind of like enjoy the ride.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, okay. So, moving on from Hubie, Hellstrom. What's your opinion on Hellstrom?
See, it's always interesting to me when a Hulu original really grabs my focus. I mean, I feel like as much money, I mean, not comparatively to Netflix, but as much money as they throw at it, they should come out with more great shows often than they usually do. But
Yeah. No, I feel like where Hulu, and I'm not saying I don't like Hulu. I do like Hulu. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I end up just kind of binging ends up always being from Hulu, but I always feel like their originals are just so, I mean, you said it before, they're hit or miss. You know, you're never really 100% sure what you're going to get until you're like 3 episodes in. And I can see how some people would say Hellstrom was very CW-esque in just like cinematography and some of their like effects, but I did kind of buy into this family drama, and I thought it was pretty compelling, actually.
And I'd be one to agree with you there. I really feel like they did a good job of introducing the brother, the sister, in a way that felt compelling, that their dynamic was actually different from anything you'd expect. I mean,
yes,
even as simple as such an anti-hero almost dynamic, really.
Yeah. Did you know that it was a Marvel comic? Did you even know that when you started watching?
I feel like it's one of those things that caught everybody by surprise in just like the title sequence. You know, it's...
Yes.
It really, these days, it feels like it's always random when suddenly Marvel's going to pop up. You know, if you're not like a massive fan of the universe to begin with. You know, and that goes for me personally.
Yeah, and it's weird that... No, but yeah, I agree. And I think it's weird that Kevin Feige had nothing to do with it. You know, I feel with WandaVerse is coming out in like another month, and whenever, you know, Falcon and Winter Soldier comes out, like, they've already kind of developed their universe in a way that is so, I don't want to say monolithic, because I feel like that is like a little bit too on the nose.
Yeah.
But at the same time, everything is like in its perfect little box with its perfect little bow, and this was definitely not that. And for a minute, I actually got confused because Satana is a character from a DC comic. I thought this was going to go Constantine level. Yeah, I was getting real confused. And then once I started watching it and I did research and I realized, okay, no, this is like its own thing. I got into it. I let myself be kind of, I guess, like thrown into their world building. And I liked it, surprisingly. It's like a guilty pleasure, you know? Like, I wouldn't say it's, like, critically acclaimed, but I wouldn't say it's a waste of your time.
Exactly. You know, it's the show for when you're bored and just need something to binge through for a minute.
Yes. Also, like, if you want to watch a man, like, literally let a cyclops skull drink your blood, like, spoiler alert, but
certainly some horror elements going on. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes. Which I was down for. It because I feel like there's not much else going on by Hulu that's original that at least wants to, like, bring me in, other than like Solar Opposites, to be honest with you. That's the only thing I can think of that really...
A lot of that is obviously from bringing in an all-star cast to produce, animate, and voice it.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so the main event.
Oh boy.
Lovecraft Country. Okay, cool. So, overall opinions of Lovecraft outside of, like, the political parts, like, if you had to, like, rate this show, what would you even honestly rate it?
Like, if I was just looking at it as, like, a fantasy show and, like, in the magic realm, in the kind of biographical towards a certain author, with Lovecraft.
Mm-hmm.
Before everything else, I'd probably put it at about a 7 out of 10.
A 7? Yeah.
I
I
feel
agree with that.
there's the plot is great. I feel like no one
Mm-hmm.
can argue that. But at the same time, a lot of parts of it are expected.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of tropes of the fantasy, the sci-fi, the magic realm of
Yeah.
cinema, and that's cool and all, and I love it absolutely. But at the same time, like before all the social, sociocultural, and socioeconomic issues it brings up, I don't know how much it holds up as an HBO show.
Yeah, another different YouTuber that I've been paying attention to kind of, they compared it to True Blood. And I definitely
Okay.
had to agree with that. Like, I begrudgingly agreed with that because I did
Yeah.
love season 1 and even like up into maybe season 3 of True Blood, but True Blood eventually drifted, kind of like down. But I mean, I don't know. It's hard to critique the show because some of the stuff that I feel like I want to say I had problems with, I feel like I would have had those same problems if the show didn't have a bunch of POCs. Like, it wasn't like some of the things that I felt were holes in the show had nothing to do with the cast and just
Almost
kind
more
of
like they were tropes of the genre, tropes of
yes,
this
exactly.
production company, streaming service,
Exactly.
what have you. Yeah.
Yes.
No,
But
absolutely, I
at the
agree.
same time, I liked the campiness. Like, I liked how no one was an idiot. Like
Yeah.
one of the things I love about what is it? Is it episode 3 where they find out about the haunted house? Like,
Exactly.
as a black person that watches horror movies like on a regular basis, I've been that person who's been like, black people wouldn't do that. Black people wouldn't do that. No. Black people would not respond that way. And I kind of like how it is not how necessarily someone who wasn't black wouldn't respond to it, but it also still, like you were saying, it goes with those tropes and it doesn't like crap on those tropes just because these are black characters or people of color playing into them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
In the second episode, they remove some part of his body, whatever part, gallbladder, liver, appendix, whatever, magical body part.
It could be anything. Who knows?
Yes, it could be anything. But yeah, no, so the episode that I felt was the most significant to me was episode 8. Jigabobo was the title of that episode. I thought I was really, I wasn't sure how to feel about it because at first when you watch the previous episode and they give you the little preview to the next episode, and I was
Exactly.
really curious as to where they were going. But to be honest with you, I found that to be the creepiest episode. Like, if we have to go back to horror elements, those Jigabobo, like whatever I know they were characters from the Uncle Tom's Cabin book. They creeped me out.
Absolutely.
Especially
No
when
doubt.
Diana
Had the same
leans
feeling
against
here.
that white. Yes, no, but especially when like Diana leans up against the white guy and she's like, "Do you see what I'm talking to?" Like for a minute, I was like, "Why are you talking to the white man about this? He don't know. He didn't see it." Like, it was very. It was funny, but it was also so scary. Something about things that continuously follows you. It reminded me of like It Follows. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where it's just, it's
really any just slow burn thriller, you know? Like,
Yes.
just that slow stalking itself could be such an anxiety builder and such a driver of plot. Like, I love it and hate it at the same time.
Yes. I also thought, you know, kind of going, I mean, and this is, you know, spoiling the season finale, but I thought, you know, some of the things that I feel people really got upset about with the season finale was they felt like Dee acted out of character with killing Christina and just kind of being this more violent character. And I felt like episode 8 is really where you see Dee's rage. You know, when she runs at one of the Jigabobos, like, she is full war path ready. And I think that seeing that episode and then comparing it to the season finale, there is somewhat of a continuity there, because there is that inner anger, that angry black woman. I don't want to say that's a trope, but at the same time, you know, so many women, especially black women, you know, we feel like we can't be but a certain type of version of ourselves because we need everyone else to take us seriously. And something about her being the one that kills Christina, I kind of actually respected that, because I felt like that was the new generation saying, no more, we're taking the narrative into our own hands. And they did that, and I felt like it was a really good setup to season 2. Would you agree with, there's a scene in that episode where they talk about, and this is still, I guess, episode 8, but they talk about how it's like a rite of passage for every, like, I'll just say person of color, just to kind of, you know, make it a little bit more universal, but it's every young person of color's rite of passage to experience racial injustice. And I know that that's like a really controversial topic, and I know I have my opinions, but like, what did you think about just that idea that like everyone has to go through that?
I personally think it's so important. I mean, even beyond, well, inclusive of the idea that there needs to be that kind of representation. I mean, so many people are going through so many rough experiences that have no basis in film or TV for them to find a reference for. And I know, as a cis white man, like, that I've been able to find so many resources in that throughout my childhood, throughout my adulthood. You know, it's far and beyond about time. All right, guys. Well, welcome to Critical Commentary. That was our video for today. Come check us out as we post more content. Can't wait.
Yeah, let us know what you think about Hubie Halloween, Lovecraft Country, or Hellstrom. You know, do you guys have any opinions? Do you want to see us do breakdowns of actual episodes of Lovecraft Country? You can also follow us on social media. We've got an Instagram and we have a Twitter. It's Critical Com. That is Critical Com with 2 M's TV. And yeah, just let us know what you want to see next in our upcoming videos. Thank you.